T.E. Lawrence. You may know him as Lawrence of Arabia, or you may not know him at all. But T.E. Lawrence played a big role in the conflict known as the Great Arab Revolt, which would shape one of the world's most conflicted regions for years to come. So it might just be worth learning a little bit more about T.E. Lawrence. Thomas Edward Lawrence was born in 1888 in Tremadoc, Wales, to Sir Thomas Chapman, who previously went by the name of his first wife, Sarah Lawrence. Lawrence, however, was not raised in Tremadoc, but instead in Oxford, England, where he went to university. Lawrence loved history and travel and spent much of his youth exploring old castles and churches. After participating in a study trip to Syria, where he studied remote crusader castles, Lawrence graduated with first-class honors from the University of Oxford and decided to become an archaeologist. In 1910, Lawrence returned to the Middle East, working until 1914 at an excavation in Carchemish, northern Syria. However, when Britain declared war on Germany in World War I, Lawrence returned to England and was eager to aid the war effort. He was assigned to the British Army in Cairo and used his knowledge of the Arabic language to interrogate Turkish prisoners and learn of their army's position and strengths. In 1916, Lawrence was sent as a liaison officer, an officer whose role was to strengthen the relationship between the British forces and the Kingdom of Hejaz, one of Britain's Middle Eastern allies, to join the Great Arab Revolt led by Iraqi Prince Faisal I. Lawrence took supplies, including money and weapons, and helped keep the revolt alive using guerrilla tactics to target Turkish communication and supply lines, but avoid direct contact. In the spring of 1917, Lawrence was actively involved in the Arab fighters who rode hundreds of miles to strike the Turks at Aqaba, a valuable port town and fortress. The operation was kept secret from the people in London, and Lawrence was quoted as saying, "I decided to go my own way, with or without orders." The attack on Aqaba was a tremendous victory for the revolt and the Allied war effort, and upon returning to his commander, General Edmund Allenby, Lawrence was promised whatever resources the general could spare. His work as a liaison officer united the Arabs with the Allies in a combined push for Damascus. This attack was a major win for the British, and Lawrence was hailed as a hero when the war ended after the attack on Damascus. However, Lawrence's work was not yet done. After the war, he represented the Arabs in the Paris Peace Conference, and although he failed at first, he ended up succeeding in getting a pro-Arab settlement built in the Middle East. After this accomplishment, Lawrence returned to the military, where he spent 13 years before retiring and being killed in a motorcycle accident not long after. Thank you for watching this episode. I hope you learned a little something. If you're interested in learning more about history, subscribe and check out my next video, which will be similar, but on a slightly different topic. Thank you again, and I'll see you next time.